You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony more credible. Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. This is what Phoenix feels when he's doing this for Larry. What really happened? All right. Okay, and why did he... And let's get a bit more information as to why he called you. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is... Oh, come on, we've explained this. She's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart? Oh, what? What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Okay. Just... Me just starts slapping everything around her. Oops. Dolly Hawthorne was also a lover of the murderer. Of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. Oh, God. Huh. So it was one of those nasty love triangles. I see. Okay, so using the pharmacology... Okay. Now, why did you agree to meet with him, per se? Like, what do you want to talk... Yeah. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated that you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both right there, right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had the whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. Sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details. Okay. That's interesting. I don't know which one I want to ask more about. So, was there some specifics on the time of the meeting, or... What would I ask about the, about the pharmacology department is a little broad. Like, what would I specifically be asking about involving the pharmacology department? I suppose since I, don't know, like... I want to know a bit about the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables. Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, so now we know about the cables. Can I ask about the time, too? Okay. Yeah, all the alchemist stuff. Okay. Now let's just get a little bit more on the timing of the meeting. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping something up. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on with your testimony. Okay, we talked for a bit and then around 3 p.m. we split up. What did you talk about? So, what was it you were talking about? You know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime? Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true. Yeah, I doubt that. So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with them? Well, that's right, I was. Because you forgot your bottle of medicine there, wasn't it? Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. Or was that the reason? That I don't know about that. No. No. Look at the judge's face. He's just like, no. No, you're lying right now, motherfucker. No, that's so dumb. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. Yeah. I mean, all I had to do was look at the judge's face. Like, you don't even need to pan to everyone. You just need to pan to the judge and show him looking like that. Just, no. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. Yep. It's rather unusual to catch cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking the cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident, which is 12, so okay. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? It's very important. Come on. You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly. Just the 2 of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are the greatest. Just the greatest. Ah, her mini omelets are magically delicious. Ouch. Why did you punch me in the jaw? I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Oh, man. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. Huh. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out. Yeah, I was thinking that myself. That was a big point that needs to be brought out. Of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I believe we can, honestly. If we look here, there's a little umbrella there. Or what looks like an umbrella. Maybe I'm just crazy. There's a little line right there. So, I'm thinking it's that line. So, I'm gonna go for that. Establish murder method. Your Honor. Yes, Miss Faye? I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Quite the brash statement, coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court. Yes, an attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Huh, of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that. Well, you just yelled out, I know how it happened, and you were just gonna leave it like that? Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. So if I check this, or if... Oh, I don't have to show a specific point in the crime photo. But yeah, this would be it, just... Would I point to, like, the little umbrella-looking thing, or the actual... I guess I'd point to the actual wire. Anyway, present. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss May, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Okay, the murder weapon itself, I'd say it's this. Right there. Hopefully I bought it. Right there. Present. That thingy. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's... What is that? Oh, okay, I was about to say, is he gonna say, what is that? I don't know what that is. No, yeah, it's a severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then, the high voltage cable... Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in its order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what this really implies. The only one who had an opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Fingerprints? You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Yes, let's take another look at the crime scene photo. Okay, what were they on then? As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. As you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent of murder. He squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Oh boy. How are we gonna get out of this one? Phoenix! You killed him, didn't you? You can't hide forever. Order, order, order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there's no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We're done. Mr. Grossberg. My hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. God, stop with the hemorrhoids, man. Oh, man. I knew this boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Oh boy. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. Phoenix's face just aged like 3 years right there. Like after he took that mask up, yeah. He aged like 3 years during this trial. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Cough, cough. Wait a minute. Mr. Wright? I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further... I did it. I admit it. I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow was dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. She's actually a man. No! Don't talk about her like that! Silence in the courtroom. Why is Payne sweating? Doesn't this help his case? What did you just say? Was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Bay? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. Feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hello? Okay. What? This is the line. Okay, this is a line. Why? What? Where did this even come from? Never mind. Moving on. Just shut up, Grossberg. God damn it. When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. So I super slammed him. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, the light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed. That's true. Even a doofus like him could have missed that. Huh, Miss Bay. Let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without any further delay. Are we clear on that? So, like, if we mess up here, would that just, like, that would just, like, screw up all the rest of the games we played already, the first and second game. Oh, God, that's just weird to think about that. Just like, yeah, he's, Phoenix is, put away. Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. Wait, Phoenix tells himself that, doesn't he? Don't give up, Phoenix? If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Alright. Let's press on these, and then I think this is where... actually, yeah, the rain was what we needed, because that, I think that pretty much proves that that was an umbrella right there. So, possibly the umbrella is the reason he got electrocuted, because of the light rain, and then umbrella, yeah. Anyway, let's press on these, and then see where it goes from there. So what kind of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Bay, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Is that really all it took for you to lose your temper? Can you tell me a little more about what happened? Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. Yeah, he does have an umbrella. I wasn't even paying attention at first. Yeah, he does have an umbrella, so it totally was him getting electrocuted through the umbrella. That's when I lost my temper and flew into him and flew into a furious frenzy. I pushed him. I just gave him a light, gentle shove into the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cable anywhere to be seen. Right, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you merely overlooked it? Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony, witness. You heard some kind of loud noise. Okay. Loud noise. What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what it was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. That's not how somebody sounds when they get electrocuted, I'm pretty sure. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. Oh, man. You know what, I think we need more details on this, because I'm thinking what that snapping sound was the electrical wire above snapping. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important, so try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Huh, could it have been? Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail. Kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss May, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well... Umbrella. See, I want the umbrella to be in there, but... kind of risky to say it's important, but you know what? Let's go for it. Why not? This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, the cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Huh. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. Okay. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella. And are you certain of this? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing the sweater here. Oh god. Yeah, good thing you didn't stay in a relationship with that girl. Making you wear sweaters like that. Ugh. Dolly stayed up all night, stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the pain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. The pain? I mean rain. Ugh, my stomach's not as used to your personal soccer... Oh god, she's hitting him again. My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. I'm so sorry. Continue on with your testimony, witness. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. Okay, so we just stormed off then, so he wouldn't have seen the electrical wire falling. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition. Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Nope. Nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? Huh. In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will have his final decision with no remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. Right now I need more info. Info that will help me turn up some contradictions. Okay, so let's go over to... where was it? No, actually, I think it was back. Fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. Now, let me look at this. So there's the broken umbrella. Okay, first of all, he said it landed under him. So it's not under him. So it wouldn't have been the umbrella that made the loud sound then. Because he didn't actually land on it. So let's get that cleared first. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's argument earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Order, order, order! The victim, he moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Oh, well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want to present it as evidence immediately. Alright, we got the umbrella now. That's what we needed. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. But... I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render the final judgment. No. No! However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix's testimony added to the court record. Whoa, that's weird. What on Mia? My hemorrhoids are cheering you on. The victim fell on top of the umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Is that really? We just scribbled that down on a note real quick? Okay then. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Oh boy, let me guess, you have another witness. Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh. Dahlia Hawthorne? Don't you mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? Oh boy. Well, now we know why Phoenix and Dahlia aren't together anymore. Anyway, I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Oh, she's getting a little cocky now. Bad news? You couldn't be any more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? My hemorrhoids are questioning you. I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Wait, what? A 20-minute recess? Hasn't it only been like 5, 10, 15 minutes before that? This is like the longest recess. And for... oh, dear. This is a long recess, then. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Alright, April 11th, 11:52 a.m. This court, defendant's lobby number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright, at least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh?